Hey, Assalamu alaikum guys, it's your brother Ahmed Basal coming to you live from Sydney, and subhanAllah, we've had a whirlwind of an adventure over the last couple of weeks where we went from Australia to Malaysia, then Malaysia to Indonesia, Indonesia back to Malaysia again, and now finally back to Australia before the next tour. So alhamdulillah, it's been a crazy ride with Malaysia, Indonesia over the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to let you guys know sort of at a high level what we were doing there. By the way, don't forget to keep making dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. As you guys have seen, we are loading trucks, preparing trucks, and continuing to work as we always have. The first stop in Malaysia was for a tour with Ustad Norman Ali Khan. So we went there and we had a great event over there with thousands of people showing up. And then a week later, we were supposed to have some more events with Mufti Menk, Sheikh Wael Ibrahim, and other beautiful speakers and authors as well, but we had a few days gap in the middle, so about 4 or 5 days. So we chose to use that time to go across the border to Indonesia, where MATW Project has been running something called Project Noor for a few years now. Now, if you're not familiar, Project Noor is aimed at restoring people's eyesight. So there's a lot of people in the world who, because they can't afford $100, just $100, they have to go with being blind for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So it's honestly, I just can't wrap my mind around this idea that because some people can't afford $100, it means they have to live every day without their eyesight. It's so incredibly heartbreaking to see somebody who could so easily and so quickly have their eyesight restored living in that way and completely dependent on their family. Anyway, we accompanied more than 600 people over a few day period where we went through the entire process with them. So that is, they went for the first day of screening and tests, second day of screening and tests, third day of surgery, and then fourth day of finally taking off the bandages off the eyes and being able to see again. So it was an incredible thing because we saw people, we accompanied some people, some case studies back to their houses. We saw exactly how they lived, exactly who they lived with, and exactly how they got around. So we actually observed them, we spoke to them, we watched them cook a meal, we watched them make wudu, we watched them sort of do all of these normal things. And it was so heartbreaking to see how difficult it was for some people to get around and get by without someone holding their hand or showing them around. Or even if they didn't need the help, like just seeing them feeling their way through the house and feeling with their feet to know where the steps are and things like that. It was really heartbreaking because a lot of them are obviously advanced in their age. A lot of them are grandparents. And to see people who are so old and so frail having to do things in such a difficult way, was really heartbreaking. So after we got to know them a little bit, maybe 10 or so individuals that we got to know personally and go to their houses, we accompanied them throughout the whole journey with Sister Cindy, the Latina Ninja, Brother Zach, Sister Ruwaida as well from Melbourne. And by the end of the 4 days, we were so overjoyed to see them get their sight back. We were overjoyed to see them finally be able to see again. And we were actually with them every step of the way, including in the same room where they conduct the surgery. So we had to disinfect, we had to wear scrubs, we had to wear a cap. And we were in the room to see everything that happened to do with this restoring the eyesight. So since I've been back, I've spoken to a lot of friends and a lot of the Muslim community here in Sydney about exactly what it is that I saw. And really that's the job of all the ambassadors, is just to tell people what exactly is going on in the countries that we do the work in. And I had someone say to me, I don't understand if it's so cheap and it's so easy, why don't they just get their eyesight restored? Like, why do they need MATW Project? And it was such an innocent and such a beautiful question, right? Like, if it's just $100 to be able to see again, why don't they just do it? Why did they need MATW Project to get involved? Now, once you do the conversion, the currency conversion from 100 Australian dollars into the local currency, the rupees in Indonesia, it becomes a fortune. Like, it becomes a ridiculous amount of money. So it might be, and don't quote me on this, I'm just doing it for example's sake. It might be that $100 for you and me means that somebody has to work very hard and save for years to be able to afford that $100 eye surgery. That $100 eye surgery might be, tens of thousands or even millions of rupees in some other countries. So for them, it becomes an unattainable amount of money. But for you and me, it's something that, you've probably had a family dinner that's cost you over $100 in the last month. and it's, honestly, it's just unbelievable. Like, what is like basically a throwaway, almost a throwaway amount of money, completely turn somebody's life upside down, in the most positive way, in the most beautiful way. They can see again, they can have a life. There was one old lady, she was about 70 years old, and we asked her, what is it that you want to do? What's the first thing you want to do when you can see again? And she said, well, before I went blind, I used to go to the market and sell things. I used to have a table, and I used to sell things to the people that passed by, and I used to have conversations all day and meet people, and I can't wait to do that. So basically, losing her sight didn't just mean losing her sight. It meant actually losing her livelihood, losing her social life, because this lady was very social. She loved talking to people, and you could just imagine her, maybe 10 years ago when she was younger, standing at this table all day and waving to all the passers-by and striking up conversations and having a laugh and, packing up at the end of the day and going home with some money that she had earned for herself. And once the sight is gone, you have all the difficulties of losing your sight, plus you've lost your income, plus you've lost your social life as well. So it's just really unbelievable. So and I really, I keep thinking about this Aussie friend of mine who said, well, if it's just $100, why don't they just do it? It's $100 for us. It's not $100 for them. Who knows what it is in the local currency, how many million, bajillion, squillion rupees, but at the end of the day, it really brought Project Noor into the light for all of us, for everyone on the team. Everyone was able to see just how much of an impact, and on the days where we took off the bandages, grandparents were crying, children were crying, grandchildren were crying. Everybody was so overjoyed that their grandparents can finally see again. And there was grandparents that got to see their grandkids for the first time. So there's grandparents that have never laid eyes on their grandkids, never seen them. They've heard them, they've held them, never seen them, and they got to see them because of this Project Noor. So I really encourage everyone to click the link in the bio, go to matwproject.org. Reversing somebody's blindness for $100 is an absolutely incredible thing. And in the coming weeks, we've got dozens of gigs of photos and videos that we're going to share with you guys. You're going to be able to see exactly the kind of impact that Project Noor is having, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing for you to get involved with. So click the links around this video, click the link in the bio, or go to matwproject.org. Look for Project Noor. We're currently running Project Noor in more than 3 different countries, and we've restored more than 6,000 people's eyesight. More than 6,000 human beings were blind, and now they can see again because of your donation. So it's definitely worth checking out. Please continue to make dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We are non-stop on the Palestine issue, and we are working constantly. Our teams are working around the clock. We're in touch all the time with our siblings in Palestine, and we're doing everything that we can. We need you to continue to fuel us so we can continue to fuel them with food and medical supplies and whatever else they might need, inshallah. We all need to do absolutely as much as we can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all for all the support that you've given so far. Please don't let up, because the situation has not ended. We need to continue giving as much as we possibly can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.